All right, we're out here at the Fantasyland Hotel with the OG Elephante. My man, how you doing?
My dog.
Good to see you, dude.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me out. I appreciate the OG shout out. I've never gotten that before.
That's a first for you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's been a while, but OG status isn't something I don't know if I've earned that yet, but I appreciate it.
Well, at least we're working our way up, man. I'm on the same hustle.
Always grinding.
Always. So we're out here at the Fantasyland Hotel. You're here for the Soundwave rave. For people who don't know, it's a rave at the water park, world's largest indoor water park. First of all, what's this like for you, and have you ever done an event like this?
I'm excited. I've played a bunch of festivals before, but I don't think I've ever played a festival at a water park, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, I mean, the mall is popping right now.
Seriously, it's crazy in here. Do you think it's
pirate ship?
Yes. Was that your first time seeing it?
No, I was here like 4 years ago, and I remember seeing it, but I sort of forgot how wild it is.
Yeah.
And I was walking through just get some food, and I was like, dude, this is wild right now. So
seriously, it takes a little while for it to sink in. Well, I'm definitely really excited for it.
Yeah, it feels like Vegas. It's like there's a petting zoo, and there's sea lions and shit. It's like.
Yeah, that's one of the really interesting things about Alberta. It's sort of a little bit Americanized.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly haven't seen much of it outside of the pirate ship, but that definitely seems like some American stuff.
That's a nice taste of it. So let me ask you this. We talked about working our way up just a second ago. In terms of working your way up, for people watching out there who might be interested in starting to make music, what is your favorite or recommended DIY, or we could even call it a struggle setup for people who are just looking to start making that music?
I mean, honestly, all you really need is a laptop. That's sort of, get a laptop, get a DAW that you like, and just go after it. I think the big thing is, you just gotta have fun with it, and you gotta enjoy the struggle of not knowing how to make the sounds you want, but then constantly fiddling with knobs until you sort of figure it out. And that's how I came up. I was never taught or took any classes or anything like that, and it's really, it just takes a lot of time, takes a lot of work, and eventually you make stuff that you enjoy. And I think the big thing to remember is that everyone you've ever heard of, all your favorite artists, when they first started, they sucked.
Right.
Everyone sucked when they first started, so just can't be discouraged, and you just gotta go into it with that childlike sense of wonder and just be like, this is really fun, and I'm really gonna enjoy just learning how to do this.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really important thing. And so how does it exactly work for you? Because I know you started off more on the acoustic side of music, maybe even singer-songwriter kind of stuff. So how did that sort of evolve into the more electronic dance kind of music?
Yeah, I was classically trained in piano, I played guitar, and I sang. So the music itself and songwriting that was my foundation, I guess. And a while ago when dance music was kind of popping off, I think I heard Skrillex for the first time and was my head exploded.
Right.
Because I'm used to hearing guitars and stuff like that, and I was like, how is this noise even possible? What is this thing? And so I downloaded Ableton, downloaded Massive, and was like, all right, I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos and figure out how he does this. And obviously was not even close, but I was like, it kind of opened my eyes to the universe of sounds that you can get in dance music. It was almost, the analogy I like to use is I'd been drawing in pencil my whole life, and then all of a sudden I discovered that there was paint, right?
Right.
And start painting in colors, and it's
a bunch of different strokes.
Yeah, of course, and I'm very fortunate I had that foundation musically, but adding all the incredible things that electronic production can do really just was I was like a kid in a candy store. It was really fun. So
yeah, I can only imagine. And I am curious, since you are one of these artists, what is the preferred term for the music that you're creating? Because you hear a lot of terms sort of just thrown around.
I don't really care if people say EDM. I think it's an easy way to get to the point of what you want to talk about. I just say electronic music because some people don't. EDM has a bad connotation.
Right.
But I think now that sort of the bubble is calmed down a little bit, it's you really gotta come up with unique stuff, and there's a lot of amazing music being made. And I think during the height of the bubble, it kind of just felt like everything sounded the same. But now it's I just think it's such a creative genre right now. There's so much dope shit happening that I think it's a really exciting place to be.
Yeah, it's going crazy. And when you say the bubble, I'll take it you're referring to like the Skrillex sort of time where it was really popping off. Is that what you mean?
Like 2013, 14, like when it first hit the U.S. and like EDM was like the biggest thing, and everyone, you know, it first kind of came over and hit the mainstream in the U.S.
Okay.
And I feel like there was sort of a couple years there where it felt like people were just cashing in and they're doing the same shit over and over again.
Right.
And now I think people, like fans in North America, they got savvier and they started to understand, and they're like, this isn't actually that good.
Right.
But I think it's sort of like recalibrated, and now people, they know what, they're familiar, they're well educated, they've heard everything, so you really have to come correct and really have to come up with some new cool stuff to get people's attention. So.
Yeah, you know, that's a really interesting concept, because I sort of see the same kind of thing happening with hip-hop and trap right now. It seems like the mumble stuff and the easier route was sort of more accepted, but now we have different artists pushing the boundaries, and it seems like the artists are, again, they're less naive about the music, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it's, I'm not like trying to criticize the genre itself.
No.
Like, it's like, you know, they're really innovative and they're super fresh, and that's why people like them, right? It's because it's something they've never heard before. I think the problem is when people just try to copy it because it's popular, not because it's like creatively fulfilling to them. And it's like, once you start chasing what the popular thing is just because it's popular, like it ends up being mad shallow, and like people can see through that, right? And so I think it's really, and this took me years to really fully internalize, but it's like, you just got to you have to make what's, you know, inherently you, and if it's, you know, if you want to make mumble rap and that's you, then dope. That's awesome, right? But if you're like, I'm like an old school hip hop guy, but I'm gonna do it because the kids like it. Like, nah, like people see through that. So
right, definitely, it's definitely
it's all
transparent.
about the authenticity and like making something that's really true to who you are.
Yeah, I would completely agree. You know, you talk about your journey through personal growth. I'm curious, what was the biggest bout with adversity that you had to face to get to where you're at today?
I don't know if there's like one single thing. I think it's coming up as a electronic artist. You're basically facing failure every single day, whether it's creative, like you can't get to sound the way you want, or if it's like industry-wise, where you didn't get the show you wanted, your song didn't do as well on SoundCloud or Spotify as you wanted, and it's really just like you have to learn to just accept 9 no's, because then, you know, eventually you'll get that yes. And so it's really just, you know, a lot of times it feels like you're just bashing your head against the wall and nothing's happening, and then every now and then you break through a little bit more. So it's not like, you know, there's you know, it's not like you just get over one hump and then you're in the clear, right? It's just like every single day you just got to battle through, and every day it gets a little bit easier, but then every day brings a new challenge too. So it's, you know, once you cross that little hill, there's another one waiting for you. So it's yeah, that's why I tell everyone who's coming up, it's like you got to used to that climb, right? That never goes away. It's there's never this moment where you feel like you made it.
Right. So, and do you think a lot of people are working to that moment where they say, okay, this is the end all be all, I've made it?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing that too. It was like, I just want to get a song on Beatport. I just want to have a DJ play my song at a festival. I just want to go on tour. I just want to play a festival. And then you sort of tick those boxes off and you get on the other side and you're like, well, my life's not that different. And it's not like, oh, I'm suddenly there and I can chill now. It's there's always sort of the next thing, and you always have to, you know, it's such a unforgiving business, right? If you slip up for a year, like, people forget about you. And
it's not a joke.
Yeah, so you gotta. I don't really think there's ever like I made it and I can chill now. And you see artists who like pop off and then they disappear, right? It happens all the time. And so to really have those, like a career with longevity, you have to always keep working, always keep creating.
Yeah, absolutely. I really love that, man. That's some good tips there for artists. And I'm curious about something to do with your remixes. You do a lot of those. You mostly started on those. That was your foundation. What's the process like when it comes to clearing samples and contacting artists? You have to get in contact with their representatives every time or sometimes?
So it was different when I started off. When I was doing the remixes thing like 5-6 years ago, it was the Wild West. Like, no one really knew what was going on. The labels hadn't really caught on or appreciated how big these things were. And so it was really like, you could do whatever the fuck you want, and you just hope you didn't get caught. Like, you just did it, and you asked for forgiveness, not for permission.
Okay. It's like pirate radio, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. You just did it, right? And I was like, oh, I like this song, I'm just gonna remix it. There was no like, I didn't like conceptually understand. It's like, oh, it's copyrighted, like I have to get this or that.
The legalities.
And you know, there are a couple times where I like could have just did it, but then I asked and they're like, no, you can't do it. And it's like, once you already asked and they say no, it's really hard to go back and do it.
Yes.
So, you know, I was fortunate that was sort of the environment that I was developing my career in. But now it's a lot harder because like the copyright controls are so strict. Like, SoundCloud is like, it's a struggle. You put something up with like a second of a Rihanna vocal and that shit gets taken down immediately. So I don't know, man. I really feel bad for artists who are trying to get on that grind right now and figure out what to do. It's just, it's definitely, there was a moment in time where like the floodgates were wide open, and now I really feel like it's kind of clamped down a bit, and it sucks for new artists right now.
It must make you feel a little bit limited then as an artist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate now that I've done that enough to where if I really want something, you know, I have the ability to reach out to people, or people will ask me to do stuff, and that's great. But you know, that took a really long time to get there, right? And it took, I was putting out a remix every 3 weeks for 2 years, so that's like, I can't do the math, but that's a lot of remixes, and I was just doing like over and over and over again. And so like now having to wait for permission, probably getting said no to, not getting responded to, it's like, you know, it's such a, that kind of stuff was where I cut my teeth. It's where I learned how to like found my sound, how to work with like high quality vocals, like what makes like a really compelling song. And so now you don't have those resources that you used to, so.
Wow, well that's a shame, but it is very interesting at the same time. We're just about out of time. I am curious, can you tell me your favorite or most memorable festival experience?
Oh man, it's probably seeing Cascade at Coachella. I think it might have been my first like proper festival rave. It's one of the first ones, but I remember I was into electronic music. I was already producing, I was having fun with it, but that was the moment where I was like, this is what I want to do. This is it. This is like everything that I want from like a musical experience. You know, being surrounded by 20,000 people all singing the words, and this whole shared experience was so powerful, and I was like, this is what I want to do, so.
Wow, that's crazy. Is Coachella your favorite music festival, or is there another one that takes the crown?
I don't know, man. They all have their own different flavors and stuff. Coachella is very personal. I have a very personal attachment too, because that's where that happened. But you know, EDC is like a crazy world. You know, Paradiso is like the scenery is gorgeous, and there's so much. You know, each festival has its own kind of, you know, own sort of thing.
Its own little flair to it.
Totally.
Awesome, very cool. Well, Elephante, I thank you so much for your time, my man. I know you're going to have a great set tonight, and I really can't wait to see it.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thanks, man.